Hi everyone, welcome to the 14th edition of Zero to Somewhere. It's August 2023 and I come to you after a bit of a break because I just couldn't find the time to do the vlog last month because on top of the already tired, burned out month that I had before, my parents were visiting me last month. So I spent most of my time taking care of them, going on trips, and and since they were staying in this room, I kind of felt a bit too self-conscious recording in front of them. So I decided to skip last month. But things are more back to normal now. They went back last week, and I think the big news for me is that I went back to work. Well, sort of. Um, because last month, well, actually, the month before that, I was just chatting with another developer at the co working space that I go to about what I'm doing and that I'm a front end developer. And he mentioned that his agency was looking for a front end developer or a React developer more specifically. And I wasn't really interested, to be honest, because I planned to just keep trying it on my own until the end of this year. But they were really persistent, and and I told them that okay, even if I were to consider working, I would only consider working part time, and I never expected them to agree to that, but they did. So, and when I also looked into his agency, I liked the projects that they were working on because it's stuff that I haven't worked on myself in the past. Because the agency, it's called Nuvole. They are based in Italy, and they work on projects for international NGOs like the World Food Program and the International Labour Organization. And this is a space I haven't been in at all, working on projects for NGOs or even large NGOs. And I was curious and I wanted to see what that's like. So, all in all, I considered it's worth doing, especially because it would maybe really reduce the amount of stress that I'm feeling about making money or like uh, being about doing this for a long time. And yeah, and honestly, ever since I started, I feel like the weight is much less than it used to be. The strain is much less. It does mean that I lose some time, even more time than the 2 days a week, because of how my brain works. I keep thinking about the tasks even after, so it takes me maybe like half a day after that to just get back into the thing that I was working on, to remember what I did and where I left it off, and like finish the stuff for that. So it's a bit more than just the 2 days, but I think it's a much better thing because I honestly feel a lot better since I started with them. But on the other hand, ever since I started with them, the pressure and the urgency I felt is gone. So for a while, for a few weeks, I was a bit lost as to what I'm gonna do next, because honestly, it was that urgency and pressure that was really pushing me to try different things and try like making things that are profitable. And with it gone, I was a bit lost. And but I gave it quite a bit of thought, and I remembered the reason why I'm doing this in the first place is just to try new things, just to build stuff and to do things that I find interesting. And so I decided to do just that. And on this front, there are two things that I want to do moving forwards. The first thing is to finally release the app. I have been dragging my feet a lot, I know. I've been saying this for months. And honestly, the reason I've been putting it off is because I just felt like it couldn't work. I just felt like even if I built it, I would not be able to sell it. And that's still a big concern. And I think it's not gonna go away because it's not a very original idea, I guess. But I for some reason I just can't stop thinking about it. I just even though I put it on the side and I said I would stop working on it, it always comes back to me, and I always keep thinking, what if, what if I tried this, or what if I did this? And I don't want to keep doing that. I want to at least get it to a point where I have no doubt that there is no way forward. Maybe a bit stupid investing even more time into it, but yeah, I want to see where it goes. So I did some math, and as it stands, I think it would take me about another month to 2 months to fix all the bugs that I found in my original beta test, where I showed it to, well, alpha test rather, where I showed it to a few people and got their thoughts. So to address all the things I discovered then, it would take me about a month ish, or a few weeks ish. And on top of that, I have to build a landing page. I have to maybe write some posts to promote it. So doing all of that, I think, will be 2 months more. And I think that's a price I'm willing to pay to know how this ends. So that's the first thing. And the second thing that I want to try in the coming weeks is the streaming. That also I gave up because I started to understand that, it's also not a get rich quick scheme. Like, it will also take quite some time to build the audience and to really start making money from it. And back then my focus was on generating money as fast as I could. And so this didn't fit the bill. But now when I think about it, I really like the format. It's just, I really like how real time it is, how I can really interact with the person directly. And also, I just feel like I haven't come across anyone who's tried this, who's tried making sort of like a talk show about front end, where it's entirely about just helping random people with all the sorts of problems they have. And I think it would be quite interesting as well. So it's this combination of things. The fact that I like it as a format and that I think it'll be interesting is why I want to give it a try. So I will. I don't know how that's gonna go, and honestly, a concern for me is that streaming can also be quite stressful. I've read accounts, or rather watched accounts of other streamers talking about their experience doing this, and it can be really, really stressful putting yourself out there this much. And I don't know how I'm gonna cope. And honestly, the last few months have shown me that maybe I'm not the best at coping with such stressful situations. So I don't know how this is gonna go either, but I wanna give it a try. I wanna try, let's say, starting my own talk show in a way to see how that goes. So these two things is what I'm gonna focus on in the coming weeks. And honestly, I know I feel like a bit of a crazy person in all of this, because I feel like I'm constantly switching back and forth between different ideas instead of just sticking to one thing. And it's a problem. I know it's my problem, because I'm just genuinely interested in a lot of things, and I'm just curious in a lot of things, and it's really hard for me to just stick to one thing. But in hindsight, the pressure that came from having to make money made this even worse, because because I was impatient. I was not willing to give an idea enough time to work, like give it time to get to the point where it could work. And and I hope that now that that pressure is gone, things would be a bit different. But I also know that I am just a distractible type, and I might work on a dozen more things before I settle on one, or maybe I will never settle on one. I don't know. But yeah, for now the focus is gonna be on releasing the app and on starting the stream, probably 2 times a week, about 1 hour each day. And yeah, I will let you guys know how this goes next month. And until then, take care and see you next time.